Yo, what's up guys, welcome back to another video. This is a reaction to things that shocked us in the USA culture shock. And yeah, I think these are students' culture shocks. So basically they're just people who came to the US to study, and these are the shocks that they face. But we're going to just jump into this, hopefully going to enjoy. Links are in the description to my Patreon where you can see reactions that I can't post to YouTube, movies, TV series, all that good stuff. I'm doing a movie reaction today. That's going to be posted on there. So if you want to see all kinds of reactions, links will be in the description. But let's check this out and see the things that shocked these people in the US.
Hey guys, when I just turned 18, I went to America. And I went to America to play tennis and still earn a degree at the side.
I can't lie, the idea of moving to a country at 18 on your own as a student, I gotta respect that, because I would not have the balls for that, man. When I was 18, I was not imagining moving to another country to study. Just moving to another country in general. I know it's maybe not a big thing for everyone, but for me that just seems like an extreme thing to do, but also a commendable thing to do. But anyway, I'm gonna let it run and see what she has to say. But just have to say that.
And hopefully you can imagine that me going to another country at that age would bring lots of not uncertainty necessary, but also culture shocks. So in a blog on my website, I wrote about my journey and what I found different or interesting. But in this video, I asked some other international students and friends to send in their culture shock or weirdest experience from America, since they're not from there. And this video shows their opinions, and I hope you're gonna like it. And don't forget to check out my blog as well, because that's more personal, but this is more broad and has lots of aspects what I'm also writing about in my blog. So I hope you're gonna check it out and enjoy this video.
Here we go.
Yes, thanks Zoe for the invite to record a video for your channel. You asked me about some funny, shocking, crazy differences between studying in the Netherlands in my case and the US. I've done both for a couple of years, 2 years in the Netherlands, 3 years in the US. I mean, the first thing that you probably expect that will be a big difference is the food, of course. Food in the US is always, like, you can say it tastes very well, but you know it's just so unhealthy. And just for example, I've never seen this much fast food in my life. I've seen people eat fast food every day. In Netherlands, that's a really no-go. First of all, we don't have as much drive-through places. We don't have as much fast food places. It's just generally less accepted to eat that much fast food, where in the US it's just very common to do that. So that's the first big difference that I want to tell. Another thing that's different is the appreciation of the sports. When I played sports in the Netherlands, I played for a professional team, and people who went to college knew that I played there, but they didn't give for example. Where in the US, if you tell someone that you play college sports, it's like, oh my god, you're so amazing. Where in the Netherlands, they're just like, okay, whatever, cool that you do it.
That's quite cool as well, because obviously college sports, you're not a professional. I feel like maybe with certain sports in college you're close to being a professional, or you're like you've got the presence of being a professional, because so many people care about you. You've got so many fans, especially like for football, college football. But yeah, just being in the college sport, it would probably feel good just to be there and know people care, as opposed to in the UK. I've got a friend who's in uni who got a scholarship because he's like a high level decent level rugby player. Don't know how high level he really is, but he's good, and he got a scholarship from that. And I mean, I think that's pretty cool. But in the grand scheme of things, I don't know how many people would find that as incredible, as opposed to people in the US that would hear that and think, wow, my friend's got a scholarship because he's a high level athlete in this or that sport. And I mean, that's just the US culture. Maybe that for me is why I feel like him doing that is pretty insane, because I mean, to be playing at a level in a uni, you've got to be big time, like realistically.
That's also the difference in people. In the Netherlands, we're very down to earth. We're just very sober people, and we don't really we're not like that outgoing. For example, with parties, with just general clothing and stuff. The normal Dutch people are not like trying to dress to impress like all the time. We're not trying to at parties we're not trying to do the crazy things. We just like act normal, and you're already being weird enough. For example, it's like a Dutch saying if you translate it, where you see in the US people doing the most crazy stuff in parties and in normal life just to stand out from the crowd, and that's not very common where I'm from, especially where I'm from in my country. But yeah, my experience has been crazy. It's been interesting. I've been in the US for the past 3 years. I hope to continue my masters there, but due to coronavirus, it was impossible. Budgets got cut. Now borders are closed. Things are not easy right now. But the experience that I've had the past 3 years is something I will never forget.
Well, the fact that he wanted to go back, I mean, obviously the education's very good, so that's probably part of it, but he wanted to go back. So I assume he enjoyed it, or he enjoyed the experience and all that kind of stuff.
Even though some cultural shocks, but thanks Zoe, thanks for the invite, and good luck.
Hey Andrea, so what is your biggest American culture shock?
I think here where it's really interesting to see how the capitalism is present in daily lives of Americans, because
You see when I said the other day about how like Europeans, when they learn English, they sound American. She sounds like she's from the US to me. Maybe a little bit of an accent, but she sounds like she's from the US. I don't know what it is. It's probably just like films, and obviously she's studying in the US now, so maybe this has also helped that. But I always just find when Europeans learn English and they speak English, a lot of the time they sound like they've got somewhat of an American accent. Maybe I'm just being stupid. Maybe you're going to hear what I'm saying and think I'm a dumbass for that, but
people are more focused on earning that paycheck every week. So working additionally next to your school classes, because they really need that extra money for their gas, for their food when they eat out. And in Europe it's different because people eat out way less. I think we focus more on buying the groceries and saving up money, eating healthier, and also trying.
I know friends that don't care about that. Some definitely do. I've got a few who probably do care more than others, but the grand scheme of things, I think uni life here is just seen as buying the cheapest food possible to try and get by and spending all the money you can on going out and drinking. That's like where the priorities lie. Drinking money is here, drinking money's here, food money's like here, and then clothes and stuff is just probably all the way down here. Like, I think they prioritize stuff differently here. So, but that's just in England. Maybe throughout mainland Europe, it's like how she's saying.
Walk more, find solutions, bike or use public transportation instead of using that money for the gas on the cars.
That's true.
So that's where you really see why money is so important in America, because I feel like they spend it less efficiently. But of course, this is a general view. Of course, there are different people, but I think this is the general difference.
Fair.
All right. Hi, I am Jaap Metsaris. I have recently graduated from the University of Lindenwood.
See, his name's Jap. I'm going to assume he's Dutch as well. I think that's a Dutch first name. Bro, he sounds American. And I know he's studying in the US, so that makes sense. But picking up an accent when you're studying in a country that you've only been in for a year, 2, 3, 4 years maybe, that's not normal, is it? Especially like late teens, early 20s. You're not really picking up accents then. But I guess maybe he came to the country, didn't speak English as well, and then he came here. He learned English a lot more fluently, and now he's learned it. I guess that's probably it. He's probably just learned English a lot more whilst being here, so he's just picked it up. Makes sense. I don't think that's how it would be in the UK, though. Say people came from the Netherlands to England, let's just say Nottingham, and they're studying in Nottingham. I don't know why they would do that. I don't think if they were learning English more and more in England, they would sound English. I still think they would sound just more American. I could be waffling, but I just hear it every time.
The Lindenwood Lions in St. Charles, Missouri, just outside of St. Louis.
Bro, he sounds like he was born in the US. I'm sorry.
Pleasure of attending the school for 3 years, 2 years at their sister campus, my last year at their main campus after transferring from a small school in New Mexico. Lindenwood University has given me the opportunity to get to know people all around the world, play on the biggest stage, but also play on the small stage. It's given me friends from Tokyo to Brazil to the United States to South Africa, and getting the opportunity to interact with students all over the world, include and enter their families on holidays, has provided me with more than I could ever ask for.
One thing that shocked me the most in the USA is American small talk.
It's not just Europeans either. I've just noticed it. I'm sorry. I know this isn't even what the video is about, but I'm just so fascinated by it. I think people from like Japan, Korea, South Korea, when they learn English, they sound more American. I think it's just down to movies, and again, she's studying here, so that's also part of it. But it's just fascinating how when movies are so popular, it could probably lead to like people picking up those accents to a degree and stuff.
Everybody keeps asking me,
Anyways, I'm done. I'm listening now. I'm done with the accent talk.
how are you? Or how are you doing? Even though we don't know each other. In some cases, even some random people passing me on the street or in Walmart did it. In my country, we don't talk to strangers like that. I know it's just a way of saying hi, but it seems so weird and meaningless to me. In my country, when we Vietnamese people say, how are you? We actually care about the answer.
Fair.
So Anna, what's your biggest American/Texan culture shock?
I think the biggest difference that I experienced when I came here was the public transportation. People here love to have their own space, and especially in Texas, and people use cars everywhere. The drive-throughs, everything should be quick. And back home, we are way more used to using public transportations because it's a cheaper option for us. I mean, the gasoline back home is 3 times more expensive than it is here, and so getting to the nearest city is cheaper to just use the bus than use your own car. Back home, we also have like monthly or yearly tickets you can buy. For example, I don't know how much it can cost, but it is way cheaper to use that than...
You can buy a yearly ticket in my city for like £500 for the bus that you can use all over the city, or is it all over the county? I think it's all over the county, possibly, or the city. But yeah, it's quite a good deal when you think about it, but obviously it depends how often you're using it, and it is typically for people who are going to the uni, because the uni has lots of links in my city, bus links, and like she's saying, public transport that links to it. But I guess in the US, do you have public transport at all? Like, everyone's just saying everyone just drives to uni, or I guess you live on campus, or like, what do you do then? Do you bike? I don't know how big the biking culture is in the US. That's a weird one. I'm fascinated by that though, because I guess if you're someone who doesn't drive, either you just got to learn how to drive, or you got to live very close to the university.
Your own car. So by using public transportations, we reduce the emissions back home, and this goes into my second topic, how we're very aware of the environment. So if you ever travel to Europe, you can probably see that back home, like in the bathroom, the toilets have 2 bottoms, one big and one small one, and that's made to and that's because you can choose either to flush.
She can't even say it.
Hey guys, I'm Sonia and I'm from Germany. I just graduated with my bachelor's degree here at ASU, and Zoe was asking me if I can talk about my experience here in the US. So personally, it's more the little things that are different compared to home. For example, we really get to experience the southern hospitality here. People are really friendly and are really trying to help you if you have questions or if you need help. While at home, people are more to themselves and kind of live in a bubble. Another example would be that usually people dress up nice at home when they go to work or school or wherever they go, while here people are dressed like casually, more casually in that way, like they wear sweatpants, just
The amount of times I hear this, but to be fair, it is university. I guess in uni people are just dressing to be comfy, right? They're not really dressing to impress, which has its pros and cons. I'm the type of person that I'd probably just dress to feel comfy and do all that when you're studying or working or whatever. But I guess there's a time and a place, and I assume. Well, wasn't the first person saying? Well, this is a different video. Did someone say here about? I think he said about how people dress, like they dress, they overdress or something like that. Maybe I'm thinking of that wrong, but yeah, the amount of times I hear about Americans wearing their pajamas and stuff to school, it's got to be a very common sight.
T-shirts, whatever they want really, and kind of another thing that's slightly annoying sometimes is that in restaurants, waitresses usually don't get paid a lot, usually like around $2, and you really have to tip them, while at home you tip them because you want to, because you like their service, and not because you have to.
I guess as a uni student, tipping is going to be rough. I'm not going to lie. Tipping in the US as a uni student has got to be one of the hardest things to do, because you've got to do it, but you've not got the money to do it. So you either just don't eat out, or you just spend the money you don't have. I guess that's the outcome you have, or the solution you have. The food is only unhealthy if you choose to eat unhealthy food. Fair, but I know if you've got the options there, it's going to be harder to avoid it. I know myself. If I had all these options and there was 60% unhealthy options and 40% healthy, sometimes you're just craving the unhealthy options, aren't you? And more times than not, the unhealthy options will probably be closer to you. You're going to have to be able to drive to maybe to go to the shop and get the groceries or whatever it is. I guess you can get deliveries and stuff. It's one of those ones where it depends with your circumstance. Europeans tend to complain about American car use, but don't take into account how spread out this country is, which is very valid. We really don't have town squares where things such as stores centrally located. Yeah, it all comes down to your convenience and your situation that you're in, or the country that you're in. Like the US is built to have cars and have people driving all around the cities and stuff. But at the same time, I think it would just help to have bus routes and stuff for like uni students. But maybe I'm just not looking into it as much. Maybe for like the major unis they do. That's a weird one. I would have just thought bus links would just be a thing in a uni. But I don't know. Let me know actually. In the US, are there unis that have like bus routes throughout the city that go to the uni, or is that just not a thing whatsoever? That's so interesting, because US schools have buses that drive them to schools, but then the universities, I don't know if that's really a thing or not. It's a strange one, but yeah, let me know in the comments. Hopefully you enjoyed. These were, I guess, university students who travelled from around the world, sharing their cultural shocks and stuff. But yeah, hopefully you enjoyed, and until next time, like, subscribe, and peace.